All right, we have solved the task. I tell you, when you're not a tech person, you go through a lot of changes. So now I'm on live right now. And today's topic will be when your dream becomes your reality, should you scream? I don't know how I'm coming up with these titles, but they all seem to make sense. They all seem to fall right into place. I'm your host of Clear Blue Radiance. I am Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey, and I've been a spiritual counselor for over the past 40 plus 48 years, I'll say, close to it. This is a golden opportunity for me to be a part of Resonant Essentials YouTube channel, as well as Resonant Essentials, the group. And it's an opportunity to share some of the teachings, some of the things that I've experienced over the years in a metaphysical and spiritual setting. This is my opportunity to share this with people such as yourself who are seeking greater clarity in your own life and to discover or redefine your purpose in life. As many of us realize, we have a life, right? We're constantly building that life out for ourselves. And also, one of the most important things that we see that's happening is that our purpose may change as we evolve in our consciousness, as we evolve in our heart's desires, as we evolve in understanding who we are. Everything changes. I remember there was a book by Neil Donald Walsh, and I believe he wrote this book back in 2000. And the title of the book was very unique. He says, when everything changes, change everything. And I remember that. That always stuck out in my mind. And then having to meet him in person, and he talked about how, life is loaded with changes, and we always have to adapt to those changes. But he also spoke, just like many other people who were part of the New Thought era, such as Dr. Michael Bernard Beckworth, founder of the Spiritual Agape Center out in Beverly Hills, California, right now. He's a student, a practitioner of Ernest Holmes' teachings. And one of the things they were always saying and letting you know, and this is learned through if you're a practitioner um, of Unity Church Ministry, where it's all about what you keep desiring in your life and how you put positive intentions around the things that you desire and how the universe communicates with you, how you learn to communicate with the universe. So, one of the things is that in this world that we live in, we are striving to have a better version of ourselves, a better life. And so, one of the things I want to talk about today, and in my title, when I'm going to reread this title, it says, when you dream, or when your dream becomes your reality, should you scream? Now, the reason why I stuck that should you scream part in there, because many times we are learning more about ourselves and how we are connected in a greater way into the universe, into the what is called the divine mind or the God mind. And in this process of understanding, we are learning and remembering that we are creating our world, the world that's right in front of us. We are creating that world. And so when we're creating that world, we are what? Having a greater sense of responsibility. And what is responsibility? Responsibility means the ability to respond to what you see that's being internalized as well as externalized. So we all are creating the world together. Trillions of people across this planet are creating this world. Now, of course, we don't have this opportunity to shake each other's hand and embrace each other, but we are committed to understanding how we go about creating a world. And the world that we are creating is not just based on our thoughts, but is also based on our feelings. It's not just our thoughts, it is also our feelings. Ancient ancestors, aboriginals, up to the current extension of those aboriginals, which is ourselves in this world, often have said, the world before you, you have dreamt before. The world before you, you have dreamt before. That means when we go off to sleep at night, we fall into the zone of the dream world. And either we are working something out in our day to day existence, or are we trying to find a solution, or we are learning that we are creating our world on by default, meaning like whatever goes in, whatever comes out, that's what we have been accepting. So our dreams play a very important part in the world that we see. If you thought about it, you may have dreamt this world that you see right now, and you wouldn't be the only one. Hundreds of thousands of other people are dreaming this world. If you think about where you are in life now, and I just bring this as an example, if you think where you are in life right now, somewhere down the line, you are creating this scenario called reality. So, how does this come about? Often, how it comes about is that we are unaware that we are the ones creating this world. We may not readily realize that we are doing it, but we are. Just the other day, as I'm recuperating over this illness I had, I was thinking I may have created this. I may have had a memory of seeing myself prone in bed, coughing. I may have seen myself in my robe walking around my apartment, like making some hot tea, not feeling well. Yeah, I may have created that, not knowing that I was creating it, meaning I was putting so much attention on how I wasn't feeling well at the time. And not that it happened all at one time, because apparently, if I accept that I have been creating this, then I have been thinking about this for some time. I've been applying myself without rest. I have to own up to that. Not giving myself sufficient rest, sufficient exercise, sufficient food, or the right foods in the right combinations. It's more than just keeping the body dehydrated, it's keeping the body pumped with all its necessary things that it needs that assists us in moving through life. So when we think about dreams, where did they come from? Some people would say a phrase like this: dreams are from on high. Well, who high? Who's higher than us? We have that higher self that's giving us information, bringing us information, feeding us energy. When we think about this dream or the dream world, for that moment, the dream world becomes our reality. It's real to us, just as real as being in the physical body at this moment. So we are experiencing every minute, every moment to moment. We don't realize that each thought, increments of thoughts created, build up to a much bigger picture. Just like if we took this picture, someone took a picture of me, and it becomes what, two-dimensional, meaning that it's flat. And then if they were able to expand the picture, they would see how many pixels or dots that would make up the colors of my face and the highlights of my face and the pattern of my shirt and the shadow within my face and the background. Everything behind me would be in pixelated form. And it would be so many pixels per space. In fact, when you're watching me, it's a rectangular box, and that has a certain measurement by pixels or points. And there's thousands of them, thousands for height, thousands for width. Then there's the area space from corner to corner, diagonally. So that's another example. All of these bits of information that we put together, and it comes to us, or we serve it to ourselves in the form of a dream. Why? Because in the dream world, we are doing our best to change an outcome, to change how we see something, change how we experience it, change its outcome. We're doing that all the time. We assume that when we go to sleep, fall off to sleep, that we don't remember anything. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes you can't. Why? Because there's so many other things going on. And then, within the consciousness of the dream world, you realize you are experiencing, quote unquote, a dream. Now, at the moment, you may not realize what that dream pertains to outside of that dream world. But if you should experience it more than once, then it becomes a repetitive dream. And now that repetitive dream repeats every detail, every motion, every image, every sound until you get it. The dream world helps create the reality that we're trying to experience. We're here to discover what is real to us, but we may not know what that is, but we know it's something. We know it makes an impact in our lives. So, what do we do? What can we do? Well, our reality is now being realized as an outward external expression of our internalized world that's embedded deep within our own minds. The internal world is ongoing, nonstop zone of thoughts, feelings, sensations. Let's imagine that. You got 1,001 millions of data, of images coming in and out of your mind, which become thoughts, feelings, sensations, images, symbols, sounds. And these are being and impressed through ourselves as awareness and remembrance. I've said in my earlier presentations, and believe it or not, I think we're up to 88 right now with today, that often what we're doing is we're seeing ourselves or striving to see ourselves on a much bigger stage. We want to see a positive change in the world, but we can't get there, quite get there, until we find a way to go into the mind. Now, you have what is called your unconscious self. Things going on, but you don't know what's going on. You're not consciously aware that things are happening, not just within you, but within others on a minute scale with yourself, your own life, your loved ones, your friends. That's all a part of your own life. And then the things in the world. You know, we're being bombarded by what? Social media. We're being bombarded by the news. And within those structures, everybody's opinion of something. Some people just put opinions out there, but they're not necessarily factual. They're not based on any facts. They're just trying to get the likes, trying to earn those thousands of likes, millions of likes, while other people are going to somebody to buy some likes. Buy somebody's going to sell you 50,000 likes that get attached to your Instagram. You don't know who's doing what. You just want some likes. There's other people who have earned the likes up to a million or so. They've been around, they've been doing it, they've been consistent. So you might want to sit down and look at your life in general or in detail. And you want to see how you can improve upon that life. You see, we are constantly thinking, which means we start to overanalyze every thought that passes through us. Now, there are times when we have not gathered every one of these impressions or have not been able to hold on to them, as well as understand their root of origin in our lives. That's a whole nother thing. When you go inside, now you become conscious. You went from being unconscious to being what? Conscious. That you have some things inside that are dictating your outcome. What do we have? We have teachings and other things I'll call emotions and feelings and thoughts from parents, siblings, relatives, or neighborhood, the people in the neighborhood, things you've heard as a child. Then as you grow up, the another neighborhood that you're in, maybe you went off to college or maybe university, and now you got a whole nother network of people putting their 2 cents into your consciousness as you are into theirs. And you've got the teachers. And then if you're fortunate to have a relationship or experience a relationship, you have that bombarding you and their thoughts and their fears. Sometimes I find myself helping people who have a difficult time meditating. And one of the problems is when people try to meditate, and I've experienced this for myself, deep down inside, we got too many doubts, too many thoughts about what we think meditation is or isn't. And often when we're trying to meditate, we're seated in a meditation moment, all these thoughts are running through our minds. So when we have all these thoughts running through our minds, we don't have a clue of what's really going on. But we do have doubts. We do have illusionary thoughts. We do have fears. Not only our fears, but everybody else's fears that may overwhelm you in the layers of the subconscious mind. And the subconscious part of ourselves is so much connected to the universe. Why? Because it doesn't have a sense of what is right, wrong, high, low, dark, bright, moist, damp, hot, dry. It doesn't have any of that attached to a thought because the consciousness of the universe is ongoing. The consciousness of the universe is simple. It's not as dynamically complicated as we think, because we're the ones putting so much emotional content and mental content and our opinions into what we're trying to do something. I was just reading one of my books today, not my book, a book from another author. I believe this author's name is Michael Murphy, and his book is called The Creation Frequency, and it talks about the 7 stages that he learned from somebody that actually entered his life, who only wanted a small matter of money to teach him how to create a better version of himself and a better world. And it was all based in this section that I'm reading, that I can only really paraphrase, is that our subconscious mind is a reflection of the universe. And our subconscious mind, just like the universal mind, doesn't know the difference between what you think or feel as opposed to what is. So, to give you an example, you might say, I don't want to be in debt anymore. Well, the universe has a simple vocabulary. It doesn't take in all those words. It pulls on the one word that you think about often and how you attach your emotions to that one word. So we all know what the word debt is, and many of us attach a lot of emotional feelings to the word debt, and it's not happy. And so the subconscious mind sees the word debt, but it sees the energy around the word. And it notices that the word debt has been put in there thousands of times with a negative emotional impact, as opposed to this phrase, I am overflowing with abundance. I have an abundance of everything, and I'm grateful for everything that I have. I'm grateful with the money that comes to me, and it's more than enough to do everything that I desire to do. And with that is an emotional upbeat surge of energy. And the subconscious mind feels that, senses that, and helps you do what? Manifest more of it, find more of it, more of that feeling. So that's why, if you think of when I wrote this title, when your dream becomes your reality, should you scream? What are you going to be screaming? If for some reason all we experienced was the negative, I don't want to make this fun of that, but if negative is what we saw in the dream, and we felt that strongly in the dream, then yeah, we're going to scream out in what? Frustration. That's not what we wanted, but that's what we delivered. That's what we radiated into the mind of the universe, the heart of the universe, was that fear, that frustration. But if we could gather ourselves, control the thoughts coming in, then what? We can begin to unite positive emotional sensations and feelings with the word abundance and prosperity, good health, great health, better health, and knowing through faith that you've achieved it before. So you're going to duplicate on some level that sensation of excitedness and happiness. That's what you're capable of doing. So, why and what do you pay attention to? You pay attention to only the positive. You pay attention to positive outcomes. You flood them, those thoughts, those ideas, with positive, emotional, upbeat feelings, and you be consistent with it. Because when we're consistent enough and we're connecting, we're making, giving ourselves a better opportunity to connect with our higher self, then what can happen? Nothing but more higher self activity, nothing more than positiveness, joy, happiness, peace, harmony within ourselves first. We got to feel it here. We have the sense of gratitude and appreciation here. We have the sense of overflowing grace. With that means everything coming with ease, happening here. We can see it here. We can experience it on the inside. And that's all we put our emotional and mental state of awareness on. And then we begin to pull up through our memory more things, more times when we received our desires and lived comfortably from our desires. So we began what? Emblazon, create a new world, a new version of ourselves. When we do that, when we're able to fashion, to create something new with true, pure joy and excitement, then that scream is one of elation, elevation, excited energy. Like, I know I have it. I can feel it. And the world that I'm creating is a better world. We start to do that. Why? Because we believe that the possibility is there. The road to possibility happens. So, this is why meditation is so important. Whether we are experiencing guided meditation or silent meditation, it's all good because we are helping ourselves to a better feeling, a better thought process, where we are experiencing internally peace, harmony, happiness, joy, a greater success. And we start to interact with others who have like mind, like heart, like energy, who are doing the same. They're doing the same that we're doing, releasing ourselves of old habitual thought patterns, releasing ourselves from doubt, and utmost releasing ourselves from fear. We don't start creating an image of fear. We create an image of what? Love. If there's something that you love, that you desire, you're not going to fear it. Why? You're just going to open yourself up to it. So, what we are striving to do is to what? Feel different. Everything that we're doing has to feel different. We shall feel and be different with no remembrance of our old selves. You know, people were talking about the Lion's Gate energy, opening up to the fifth dimensional consciousness. And granted, if we're truly there, things will fall in place. But guess what? There are no rules or regulations in this stuff other than divine mind consciousness, other than grace, divine grace energy. You don't have to be a person with a doctorate degree to experience abundance. You don't have to be a person with a doctorate degree to experience perfect health on all levels. You don't. You just have to have an awareness and a remembrance that you are a divine being, that you belong to a much bigger picture that is infinite. And all that that picture has within it is more than a little brain can hold. We want to move forward, and I want to help you move forward. So come back every Thursday. I'm feeling a little better now. I'll be back next Thursday with another exciting topic under the heading of Clear Blue Radiance. I'm your host, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. Also, I would like to say if you're ever in the city of Albuquerque, in the state of New Mexico, in the county of Bernalillo, if you're somewhere near Resident Essentials, is located at 3107 Eubank Boulevard, Northeast, just north of the intersection of Eubank and Candelaria Boulevard, Northeast, inside of the Scottsdale Shopping Village Plaza. The number is 34. So, what you want to do is get in there or go to the website or join Resident Essentials, the group, to find out what kind of things are going on. You know, there's a lot of things. We had a lot of new practitioners coming through, a lot of teachers coming through. Once a month, on the second Sunday of each month, we have a psychic fair with free admission. And then, of course, if you stay in touch with the practitioners or you go to www.resonantessentials.com, you can find all of us there. And the owner herself, Michelle Vidal. On Mondays, usually at 12 p.m., right here, Michelle Vidal brings up metaphysical and spiritual topical subjects. On every Tuesday and Wednesday, often, Donna of Dominion Tarot comes through and she does a one card tarot spread, and she talks specifically of a specific topic that she's sharing with you, the audience. Then, of course, every Thursday at 1 p.m. is myself, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey, with Clear Blue Radiance. Now, this Saturday, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., right at Resident Essentials, we have orbital astrologer Johanna Radar, and she'll be in there with a 2 hour workshop that you can attend. Okay, and I believe it's free. Johanna Radar is an excellent astrologer, and she knows her stuff. I will be there from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., and I will be teaching from my Creative Pathwork meditation series. And these classes have minimal fees, so it's easy to attend, and it's just an hour long. But I'll help you through guided meditation and how to reach your higher self through silent meditation. So I'm there usually every Saturday, and I look forward to seeing you there this Saturday. So stop by at 3107 Eubank Boulevard, Northeast, Albuquerque, New Mexico. All right. I look forward to hearing from you soon. And if you need to contact me, go to the Resident Essentials page, work called the group. Go there. Or if you want, email me at iam.circleofgrace1 at gmail.com, and I can give you some more information about what I do. Until next time, my grace is your grace. Remember that divine grace is a blessing as we're alive and well in the age of remembrance. I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day. Today is the 18th of August, 2022, and just enjoy the rest of your day. Be well.